Today we will see anterior triangle of the neck. We will divide this lecture into the two parts. So this is the first part of the lecture. We will see in this lecture about the surface landmarks, structure in the anterior median region of the neck and related applied anatomy. Okay, this is the anterior median region and its related applied anatomy we will see. And then we will see the anterior triangle of the neck, which is bounded by the one line, that is the midline of the neck. This is the inferior margin of the mandible, or you can say the base of the mandible, and this is a sternocleidomastoid. Okay, so the structures or the triangles which are present in this boundary we will see. So there are the four triangles. First, that is a submental triangle and the digastric triangle. These two triangles we will see in detail. Third triangle, that is carotid triangle, and the muscular triangle we will see in the second part of this lecture. First we will see surface landmark. This is the mandible. Below that there is a hyoid bone. You can feel behind and below the chin. Below that there is a thyroid cartilage. Then there is a cricoid cartilage, and here you can feel the trachea. Also there is a thyroid gland, and there is a suprasternal notch. Okay. What are the structures in the anterior median region? So this is the anterior median region, which is bounded on both the sides. This is the sternocleidomastoid muscle, anterior border, and this is the inferior margin or the base of the mandible over the both the sides. So here we will see, so there is a skin over it, which is very much freely movable over these structures. So what are the content we will see? What are the contents in the superficial fascia? There is a platysma, anterior jugular vein, and the submental lymph node. Okay, so here this is the, you can see the anterior jugular vein. First we will see the platysma in the superficial fascia. Okay, this muscle is the platysma, is a subcutaneous muscle. That's why it is present in the superficial fascia of the neck, which extends from the here above the from the clavicle and above to the base of the mandible. Platysma, that is called broad. It is a subcutaneous muscle. It is an example of panniculus carnosus, means it is a subcutaneous muscle. Other example you can see muscle of the scalp, muscle of the facial expression, muscle of the pinna of ear, subareolar muscle of the breast, palmaris brevis, dartos of the scrotum, and corrugator cutis ani muscle. These are the example of the panniculus carnosus. Okay. Here it is more developed in cases of the lower animal, but in human it is present in some of the areas. So these are the example of the panniculus carnosus muscle, or you can see the subcutaneous muscle. You know about the origin and the insertion of the platysma. So here this is the origin, deep fascia covering the pectoralis major muscle, and it insert over the base of the mandible, over the posterior and the lower part of the skin. Now supply, that is a branch of the facial nerve. Okay, so here what are the functions? When angle of the mouth pull down, the muscle contracts and wrinkle the skin. It protects the external jugular vein from the external pressure. Okay, this is the function of the platysma. Now we will see the deep fascia of the neck. So here you can see above the hyoid bone. So this is the hyoid bone. Above the hyoid bone, the first layer of the investing layer of the deep cervical fascia, that is split into two lamina. These are deep lamina, and this is the superficial lamina of the investing layer, and it encloses the submandibular gland. Okay, and below this investing layer of the deep cervical fascia is present up to the suprasternal notch in between the two sternocleidomastoid muscles. Now, what are the other structure that you can see in the anterior median region above the hyoid bone? Okay, so above the hyoid bone, which are the structures? So now, this is a mylohyoid muscle. Okay, this muscle, that is a mylohyoid muscle. Above the mylohyoid muscle, you can see this is the anterior belly of the digastric. Here you can see the submental lymph node. This is the anterior jugular vein, and this is the nerve to mylohyoid, and this is the facial artery. This is the submental artery that you can see. Okay, this is the superficial part of the submandibular gland with the lymph node is also there. Okay, anteroinferior part, here also there is a hyoglossus muscle you can see. Okay, and below that also you can see this is the pulley. So that this is the anterior belly of the digastric, and this is the posterior belly of the digastric muscle. Okay, so this is the about the structures above the hyoid bone. Okay, sometimes there is a there is a subhyoid bursa is also there. Okay, so this is a subhyoid bursa below the hyoid bone. There is a subhyoid bursa. Now, deep structures lying below the hyoid bone. So below the hyoid bone, we will have the superficial plane containing the infrahyoid muscle. Okay, middle plane consisting of the pretracheal fascia and the thyroid gland. Okay, this is the thyroid gland, and the deep plane containing the larynx and the trachea. So these are about the infrahyoid muscle. So here you can see this is the superior belly of the omohyoid, and this is the inferior belly of the omohyoid. Then you will see this is the sternohyoid muscle. Then this is a thyrohyoid muscle and sternothyroid muscle. Okay, so this is the superficial plane containing the infrahyoid muscle. Middle plane consisting of the pretracheal fascia and the thyroid gland. So here you can see this pretracheal fascia. Okay, so here the pretracheal fascia that consists, or it is in the form of the one ligament, that is the ligament of the Barry, and that is attached to the capsule of the thyroid gland. So the most important anatomy related to it, that when the thyroid gland swelling is there, then it moves with the deglutition. It means that जब भी हम कुछ खाते हैं या कुछ पानी पीते हैं, तो if there is any swelling of the thyroid gland, अगर जो वो thyroid gland की swelling है, तो वो moves होगी with the deglutition because of the attachment of this ligament of Barry, that you have to remember. Now below that you can see here there is a thyroid membrane is also there below the hyoid bone, and there is also structure piercing the thyroid membrane, that is the internal laryngeal nerve and the superior laryngeal vessels. Okay, after that you can see some of the structures. Okay, so there is a thyroid cartilage is also there, cricothyroid membrane is there. Okay, and the cricoid cartilage is also there, and the thyroid gland is there. Now we will see the what are the midline swelling. Okay, that from the base of the mandible to the suprasternal notch. So what are the midline swelling? So this is the differential diagnosis. तो बहुत सारे swelling हो सकते हैं in this region में. तो वो कौन कौन से हैं? One is the enlarged submental group of the lymph node. This is a sublingual dermoid cyst. Enlarged submental lymph node is there. Thyroglossal duct cyst भी हो सकती है. Okay, here you can see in this figure. Goiter भी हो सकता है. Carcinoma of the larynx, maybe the midline swelling. This is a Ludwig's angina, which is called the cellulitis of the floor of the mouth. Okay, ये भी हो सकता है. Okay, so these are all the differential diagnosis of the midline swelling. Another applied anatomy that is related to the tracheostomy. Okay, so we are doing tracheostomy by below posterior to the isthmus of the thyroid gland. These are called the Langer's line in the neck. So whenever you want to give incision, then we have to give along this line. Okay, so no marks can be seen and healing is better. Now we will see detail anterior triangle of the neck. First we will see what are the boundaries. So here you can see this is a midline which extends from the middle of the mandible, or you can say from the middle symphysis menti to above the suprasternal notch, that is at the origin or the meeting point of the sternocleidomastoid. So these are the midline. Then at the side there is a sternocleidomastoid muscle. From the here you can see sternocleidomastoid muscle, as the name suggests, that arise from the sternum and the clavicle goes up to the mastoid process, and this is the inferior margin of the mandible. Okay, so these are the boundaries of the anterior triangle of the neck. So anterior triangle of the neck, what are the subdivisions? So first triangle, that is a submental triangle. So this is a half submental triangle, means so half submental triangle means ये एक ही साइड का है, अगर दूसरी साइड का भी ज्वाइन हो जाएगा तो इट इज कॉल्ड द सबमेंटल ट्रायंगल. ओके, this is the digastric triangle that is present in between the anterior and the posterior belly of the digastric muscle. Third triangle, this is called the carotid triangle, and this is the muscular triangle. Okay, here in this region, in this figure, you can see very well, this is the submental triangle that is bounded by the anterior belly of digastric, and this is the hyoid bone. So this is a half part of the submental triangle, and this is the half part of the submental triangle. So this is the complete submental triangle. Okay, this is the, you can see the submandibular triangle, or you can say the digastric triangle. This is the carotid triangle, and this is the muscular triangle. So today we will see only the submental triangle and the submandibular triangle, also called the digastric triangle. Submental triangle. Now what are the boundaries? So here you can see, in this figure you can see this is the digastric muscle, anterior belly of digastric, okay, on the both the side, and this is the base of the hyoid bone. So this is the apex and this is the base. So you can see clear cut the boundaries of the submental triangle. Here also in this figure, okay, this is the anterior belly of the digastric muscle, you can see, and this is the base of the hyoid bone, or you can say the hyoid bone. This is the apex and this is the base. Here you can see what are the floor, okay, so floor, or you can say what are the contents. So here you can see in the floor, after the skin, superficial fascia, okay, deep fascia that we have discussed. So in this submental triangle, here this is the muscle. That muscle is the mylohyoid muscle. So content, this is the 4 submental lymph node. This is the anterior jugular vein, you can see, okay, and subsegmental vein that joins the anterior jugular vein. So these are the content of the submental triangle. Okay, so what are the content? So these are the 4 submental lymph node, anterior jugular vein, okay, and subsegmental vein that joins the anterior jugular vein. Second triangle, that is called the digastric triangle. We will see first what are the boundaries. So this is a side view, or the you can see from the lateral aspect. So here what are the boundaries? This region, or you can say submental triangle, and or you can say the area between the mandible and the hyoid bone is called the submandibular region. This is a digastric triangle. This is the anterior belly of digastric, and this is the posterior belly of digastric. So what are the boundaries? As the name suggests, digastric muscle. So it is present in between the 2 belly of the digastric muscle. So antero-inferiorly, the anterior belly of digastric, and the postero-inferiorly, that is by the posterior belly of the digastric, and another muscle, that is a stylohyoid muscle. So this is a styloid process and this is the hyoid bone. So this is the stylohyoid muscle and this is the hyoid bone, and this is the superiorly, or the base of the mandible that forms the base. Okay, so that is all about the digastric muscle, or digastric triangle and its boundary. Now the roof, skin, superficial fascia that we have seen, it contains the platysma, cervical branch of the facial nerve, okay, and the ascending branch of transverse and anterior cutaneous nerve of the neck, deep fascia which split to enclose the superior submandibular salivary gland. Now floor of the digastric muscle. So here you can see the floor, the floor of the digastric muscle. The floor is formed. So here you can see in the anterior part, you can see there is one muscle, that is a mylohyoid muscle, and the posterior aspect, there is a hyoglossus muscle. Okay, so here you can see anterior part, that is a mylohyoid muscle, and posterior part, that is a hyoglossus muscle is there. Okay, a small part of the middle constrictor muscle of pharynx appears in the floor. Okay, but here if you can remember these two, that is enough. What are the content? So this is the anterior part and this is the posterior part of the digastric triangle. So what are the content? So in the anterior part, we will see the submandibular salivary gland, superficial part. Okay, there is a facial vein, okay, and the submandibular group of the lymph node, submental artery. Okay, this is the submental artery, mylohyoid nerve and vessels, and 12 number, that is a hypoglossal nerve in the anterior part of the digastric triangle. Also you can see in this figure, okay, the same structure you can see in the anterior part of the digastric triangle. Now we will see what are the content of the posterior part of the triangle. So what are the superficial structures are the lower part of the parotid gland and the external carotid artery which is present. What are the deep structures in the posterior part of the triangle? Or you can say this is the styloglossus muscle, stylopharyngeus muscle, glossopharyngeal nerve, pharyngeal branch, vagus nerve, and the part of the parotid gland. These all structures are present in between the external and the internal carotid artery. So this is the common carotid artery, this is the external carotid artery, and this is the internal carotid artery. Sometimes MCQ or 1 mark question can be asked, what are the structures passing between the external and internal carotid artery? Then you have to write down all these structures. Now the deepest structures includes the internal carotid artery, okay, internal jugular vein, and the vagus nerve. Okay, so we have seen all these two triangles, that is a submental triangle and the digastric triangle. Thank you so much.